Hi everyone. Let me just make sure that that's working. Um, okay, trying to figure out where to put everything. Okay, just let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Have a little look. Just making sure that everything is working okay, and then we are going to begin. Okay, so we go. So that one's working by the looks of it. Yeah. Okay, guys. So hi, Brenda. Lovely to see you here. So yeah, that's working. Right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a minute, and then we're gonna start our reading. Um. So just so you know, if you want to comment, I'll see if I can edit it whilst I'm live. Actually, I think only people who subscribe to my channel can comment this time. I don't know why that's changed, but yeah, so if you are watching the live and you do want to comment and you find that you can't comment, then you just need to hit subscribe on YouTube and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. So I'm live both on TikTok and YouTube right now, and we are just going to see what message we need to hear. So we're going to begin. We're going to just get a general message, and then I'll be doing 3 questions at the end. So I'm using the Clarifying Life Situations Oracle. So let's see what our message is. Okay, quiet moments. So right now you might find that you are just wanting to be on your own a little bit. Perhaps you are busy reflecting. Maybe you're finding you don't want to be on your own, but your guides are kind of making you isolate a little bit, making you feel like you need to withdraw. So this quiet moment is about finding peace right now. I feel like we are being guided towards like kind of finding more clarity about a situation or understanding ourselves better. You know, this could be a time where maybe we really do have to go within. We've had the new moon in Gemini. So, you know, you might have experienced some kind of change with that new moon, and maybe right now you just want to slow down. You just want to, you just want some quiet time. You want to reflect on things which have risen to the surface. Gemini season for me is always really, really kind of chaotic, and I find myself like being spread a little bit too thin. I always feel inspired to start projects in Gemini season. I never finish them. So if you are like me, then maybe Spirit is saying, look, you just need to really think about what your intentions are, what your goals are for the next few weeks, and don't rush, you know, take your time. Like, move slowly. And this came out in our daily message on Sacred Space as well, was like, we need to slow down right now. We can't keep rushing around. We can't do everything that we want to do. Maybe we do just need to kind of be a little bit quiet right now, a little bit more quiet. So we're going to get 2 more oracle cards, and then we'll get stuck in with the tarot. So this is just anything that Spirit wants us to hear today. We have a feather of hope. So recently you may have felt like you've been trying to figure things out and you've not had the answers. Maybe you felt like you were kind of like lacking inspiration or just not feeling very hopeful about the direction that life was going in. Maybe you felt like you were being thrown like curveball after curveball, and it just wasn't possible to like stay on your feet. It really does feel like you've been knocked down a lot recently. But this feather of hope is telling us things are changing. You're going to start to receive a lot more messages from your angels, from your spirit guides. You're going to start to feel like you are more protected in a situation. So maybe you have felt like you've had to do a lot on your own. There hasn't been a lot of support around. Well, that's going to change. This really does confirm that what's been going on recently is you have been pushed to connect with your spirit guides more. You've been pushed to notice the subtle changes in energy. You've been encouraged to really open your eyes to like the synchronicities around you. So you may have actually found that, like, you know, your connection to spirit has really changed over the recent weeks. And you do feel like you have greater understanding of yourself now. You have to think, like, we're always evolving, we're always changing. And that means that sometimes we kind of don't know who we are in the moment. You know, sometimes you go through like major tower moments, or, you know, just things happen, you know, life happens. And you kind of realize, do you know what? I actually don't want the same things that I wanted like a few months ago. Or I don't feel like I'm the same person right now. I don't want to be around the same people. So I think this energy right now is kind of guiding us to go within a little bit, understand ourselves much more deeply. And very, very soon we will feel a lot more hopeful. We'll feel a lot more inspired about the direction we want to move in next. That feather of hope, this is about spirit promising you things are looking up, things are about to get better. So if you do feel like things are a little bit bleak right now, then just know that positive change is coming, and it really won't be long. It really won't be long before you start to see that transformation, before you start to feel inspired again. And maybe you're going to start to feel like you're on the right path. You know, it could have been a long time of waiting, a long time of like delays, and all of a sudden you realize, you know what? This isn't where I planned to be, but this is where I'm meant to be. And that's the beauty about like surrender and being connected to spirit. You know that every touch of divine intervention, every divine detour, it's for a reason. And even though it's frustrating, because sometimes you feel like life's not going to plan, like this is not what I wanted, everything's falling apart. It's not falling apart. This is everything coming together. And as soon as you shift your perspective and you realize, do you know what? This isn't what I had planned. It isn't what I was hoping for, but there's clearly a reason why this is happening, and I'm just going to trust it. And I think that's the best thing we can do sometimes, is just have that faith that everything is working out in the way that's best for us, even if it's, you know, like I said, not what we wanted. And I do feel that that's what you're being guided towards right now. This is about kind of just trusting the process here, and all that quiet time that you've had recently, it is going to start to change. You're going to start to come out of your shell a little bit. Things are going to start to shift around you, and opportunities will start to present themselves. So let's get one more oracle card, and then we can start using the tarot. Okay, we have the Grove of Unity. This is about kind of binding energies in the unified sanctuary of the grove. This is about connection amongst all people. So this tells me that very soon you will find yourself kind of like fully engaged in a community. Whether this is something you've got planned, whether this is something which happens, you're going to feel connected. So whether this is a connection with one person, or whether this is a connection with like multiple people in some kind of space where you feel you can be yourself, you're going to have that community around you. You're going to have that environment where you feel like you can thrive, and there's people around who you're like, do you know what? I am loving the energy that they are bringing to my life. And that's the shift here. Sometimes you need a bit of time by yourself to be like, I really don't miss certain people, or like I might miss certain people, but I'm realizing that they're not good for me. And that's what's starting to shift here. And this is also like, I feel like this is going to be a big theme throughout Gemini season, is we are going to notice what social connections are actually like hindering our growth, or reflecting things to us which like aren't for our highest good, you know. And sometimes like this can feel really disheartening if you hear it as a message, but it's not a bad thing. You know, sometimes we just have to disconnect from people temporarily because we're in different seasons of our life. And then we can come back together and we realize, okay, we've both grown a lot. We both needed to walk separate paths, but here we are. Like, that's the beauty of like soul connections, is, you know, not everyone's meant to be in every chapter of the book. You read a book, it'd be pretty boring if it was the same characters in every single chapter. You know, this is Spirit saying you're allowed chapters by yourself. You're allowed chapters with different groups of people. You're allowed chapters not with certain people, and it doesn't mean they're not going to be part of a future chapter in the book. So there's a lot of messages here around surrender, around rediscovering which social connections are going to be best for us. So we're going to use tarot now, and we're going to get some messages from the tarot. I'm using my mini deck again. I've been using this one a lot lately, guys. And the thing is, this deck, like, I have no idea who created it because I just bought it from a bookstore and it doesn't actually say on the box, like, who made this deck. So if anyone knows, do let me know, because this is one of my favourite decks. It's the first deck I bought myself, which I know you're not meant to do, but I think my mum would be very poor if I made her buy me every deck that I wanted. So this is like one of the first, well, it is the first deck I bought myself, and I got it so I could keep it in my rucksack when I worked at my corporate job, and I could kind of sneak it off to to the pods to do readings. So it's got a lot of history, this deck. So we have the Star. The Star is a message of inspiration. The Star is a message of hope. The Star reminds us of the greater picture. And I feel that is a theme right now, is that we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to look at what's important right now. And maybe the Star is guiding us, like, you've been looking too closely at things. You've been looking so closely at the path that you are on that you're forgetting the beauty of everything else which is out there. And the Star is encouraging us to really work on our dreams and our goals. And the Star reminds us that we have to release things. We have to heal. We have to relax. We have to think very carefully about how we are spending our energy. Maybe you have been spending your energy in ways which your guides are saying, you know, it's not really for your highest good. So, you know, you think like you fill your watering can up, and which plants are you going to choose to water that day? Because you might not have enough to do everything. So I think this is about choosing very carefully what are your priorities each day. And again, I think this is going to be a theme over the next few weeks during Gemini season, is not trying to do everything at once, but remembering that you're only human. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much energy we all have, and you can't tick everything off the to-do list. And sometimes by trying to do too much, we get less done. So it's important that we really prioritize what is important for that day, and maybe leave some things for another day. Maybe we're not meant to do everything all at once. But the Star tells me that some kind of wish is coming true. So something that you have been reflecting on, something that you've been maybe like quietly working on behind the scenes, that is very soon going to produce a result. So I feel like a lot of you have been kind of keeping a secret, or you've just been like busy working on something, whether this is like healing, whether this is like a project you've had, a business, a relationship you might have been keeping quite secret. I feel like it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off very, very soon. So you might start to feel quite excited about something, but you might not understand, like, what is this excitement about? Like, what does this mean? And it means you're close. It means you're getting really, really close to your goal, to your vision. And I don't feel like you have long to wait before you start to see some kind of rewards or results. So, yeah, Ace of Pentacles. So a new beginning, something which is really secure. This is going to happen very soon. So the Ace of Pentacles is telling us that we are going to see just like a solid beginning. This is something tangible. So this could absolutely be some kind of result, some kind of reward here. The Ace of Pentacles is really confirming, like, whatever this is, it's going to grow. So whatever new beginning you are going to see next, this is going to grow into something amazing. This is something that you really will start to see the results within like a month or two, you know, maybe even less. You know, there's going to be so many opportunities which come from this one opportunity. So yeah, it really feels like we're going to see like multiple successes, and there's going to be a few areas of your life where you start to realize just how connected things are. It's like the domino effect, you know, like when one thing gets better, other things are going to start to get better. So there might be one result which comes in, and then before you know it, like results in other areas of your life start to take place. We have the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands tells me that there could very well have been a bit of competition around lately. Maybe you had felt like you were just experiencing like a bit of tension. And I think this is where we had that guidance before about, you know, you need to make sure that you are surrounded by the right people. Because the Five of Wands tells us like healthy competition can be good. You know, sometimes we need that kind of nudge, we need that kind of push to do something. And other times it can be a little bit damaging. Other times maybe we need to just pull away and say, do you know what? This isn't my fight. I don't need to defend myself here. I'm just going to work on whatever it is I'm working on. So this is about knowing when competition can be healthy and knowing when an environment is actually becoming quite toxic. So, and sometimes it's not easy to distinguish. Sometimes you might think, I really don't need all these people kind of like telling me what to do, or, you know, giving me their opinions. And actually sometimes like we do need that. We do need people around who are actually trying to support us and look out for us. So yeah, just make sure that you are kind of clearing your energy before you make any decisions about this. But the Five of Wands in this deck, it feels playful. So it tells me that something here could actually be quite fun. And you don't have to agree with everyone. I think that's something which is really important is, let me pick this card up. Something that's really important is that we know when we need people to have a different opinion, because sometimes we need that conversation to actually be like, oh yeah, do you know what? I actually do need to look at things differently. So it's about just keeping an open mind right now. We have the Five of Swords. You see how this is totally different to the Five of Wands? The Five of Wands, it's like a playful connection. You know, this is something fun. It's a little bit competitive, but, you know, ultimately it's helping both of you grow. The Five of Swords, on the other hand, this is someone running. This is someone who, like, you know, this is not a nice situation. This is someone running, someone chasing, and this sword's involved here. So this is a fight. This is not a comfortable environment. So this Five of Swords is telling us, and you know, the way she's like stabbing the other mouse, or whoever it is, this mouse is stabbing the other mouse in the back. I think this is about knowing who is here with good intentions, and as a result, that's going to help. And who is here who's like actually not loyal, who's actually not necessarily looking for an opportunity, but like if there was an opportunity for them to betray you, then they would. We need to be very careful who we let into our space right now. Gemini season, you might find that multiple people suddenly want to be in your life. Multiple people suddenly want to be your best friends. But some people's intentions here are not aligned with like where you're at or what you deserve. You know, some people's intentions here is like, this is not good for you. Like, so I think Spirit is being very clear right now that you need to figure out which connections are good for you and which connections are, you know, kind of, they need to go. They need to go. There's no other way of saying it. So just so you guys know, I am live both on TikTok and on YouTube. So I'm going to be replying to like both comments as and when I see them. This is just kind of a general reading right now. And then I'm going to answer personal questions when I finish this in kind of like five minutes or so. So we have the Ace of Swords. And the thing is, there is so many messages here about new beginnings. So many messages here that, you know, we're going to see results. There's going to be success. And the Ace of Swords is confirming that again. This is a card of victory. This is a card of a fresh start. So things are definitely improving. We're going to start to see some areas of growth. Now, the Ace of Swords could also be an important conversation, could be a contract being signed. The Ace of Swords is absolutely like, there's going to be a really good opportunity here. You're going to be able to speak your truth. This is going to be aligned with you. So I am enjoying the energy today. I feel like there's lots of messages of guidance, but ultimately Spirit's really confirming new beginnings are very close. Your results are closer than you realize. But a lot of the success which is going to be in your life over the next few weeks and then months depends on the people who you let into your space. So I do just feel we need to be really mindful of like the connections which feel draining and the connections which feel uplifting. And there's nothing wrong with saying to someone like, look, I really value our friendship, but right now, like this is just not great for my, mental health, or like this is just not great for my energy levels. Like I don't have the energy to like give to this right now. Or like establishing better boundaries with that person. We have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a moment of pause, and I do feel this is really confirming this quiet moment that we have been not necessarily enjoying but experiencing. We've had to take some time out. We have not been able to continue with like the same kind of path and the same approach that we have been approaching things with. The Hanged Man tells us like we've had to take a step back, we've had to reevaluate. And sometimes, the Hanged Man, obviously you don't want to be hung upside down. It's not comfortable. You don't want to be here too long. But when you learn not to resist this and you actually learn that this is for a reason, suddenly your perspective can start to change. And then you realize, actually, I can get down from this at any time. But I'm going to like just be here a little moment longer and figure some things out. So I feel like you are doing a lot of reflecting right now, a lot of surrendering. You really are like shifting your perspective on certain things. As a result of that, you are closer to your new beginnings. You're closer to some kind of rewards. And you're also closer to some really aligned connections. So our last card, we have the Seven of Wands. Now, I actually love this card. The Seven of Wands, it really feels like so many things are going to start to happen. We are going to find ourselves defending our vision. And the Seven of Wands tells us that we can't do everything. We have to be very careful with which wands we choose to pick up. But ultimately, we're on the right path. Yes, there might be people who are working against us or who are not supportive. We already know we need to figure things out with that situation. But there's also going to be people here who are on your side, who are going to help with this. The Seven of Wands really tells us that like we might feel like we are on the back foot right now, but we're not. We are closer to the Eight of Wands. We are one step closer to all those things happening for us. We're one step closer to travel and conversations which need to happen. So, the Seven of Wands tells me that even within the next week, things are going to start to change. So over the next 7 days, you are going to feel like you're ready to connect with others. You're going to find your community or a place where you feel like you can be yourself. You're going to figure things out. So right now, if you're feeling a little bit lost, if you're feeling a little bit like you want to withdraw or, you have to withdraw, it's going to start to change. The next 7 days, we are going to just see so many subtle changes, so many synchronicities, signs from spirit, and things are really going to start to shift in our favor. So guys, I am now going to answer a couple of personal questions. So if you have a question that you would like me to look into, I'm going to do some little free mini readings now. For those of you who have just joined, I am live both on TikTok and on YouTube. So I'm going to be answering questions from both. So I'm keeping an eye on both comment section. Okay, first one. Chrysula. Message from your Scorpio DM about your connection. Okay, this is coming out very clearly. Five of Pentacles. So your Scorpio DM right now is not feeling too great about things. Is feeling like they are in a place of lack. They don't have enough. They may be linking this connection to like how they feel with like their work and their money. And the Five of Pentacles tells me that right now this person feels a little bit lost, and they are struggling, but there is a change here. There's a change here which is happening in their material world, and this is going to hopefully improve things. So let's get one more card to see kind of what's happening next after this Five of Pentacles. Yeah, the Magician. So this person is realizing like where their power lies. So a lot of this change is to help this person understand what their power is, how they can use it. And I feel like once they've manifested some kind of material change, they will then start to feel better about this connection. So over on TikTok, Christina, you want to know if your job will turn fully remote soon. So will your job turn fully remote soon? Let's have a look. Okay, the Six of Cups. Not just yet. Not just yet. It feels like right now, this is obviously something that you were wishing for, but it's not happening soon. If it does happen, it's likely to happen over the next 6 months. So I suppose this depends on your definition of soon. If you are thinking maybe before the end of this year, then yeah, that actually is quite possible that it could happen. But it might not be, you know, over the next few weeks. So I think this is about just kind of setting the intention that you want to work remotely, but ultimately like not fixating on a time frame, just putting the energy out there. So back over on YouTube, Rachel, you had a dream about a Taurus man last night. He was upset, no contact for 3 months. When will you get communication from him? Okay, the cards are flying out. He's a lot to say, but he doesn't want to reveal his hands. There's a stubbornness here. Of course, Taurus. No offense to any Taurus people watching, but yes, absolutely. So I sense that like he's got a lot he wants to say, he doesn't want to say it. This is him visiting you in your dreams. 9 of Swords, 9 of Cups. There could be a connection to September here with that number 9, but it tells me that right now like he basically feels you two are in completely different energy. You're really happy, your wishes are coming true, or this is how he is viewing you. He is feeling like he's living a nightmare. So when will you get communication from him? I feel you're going to get a lot of messages in your dream space about this, which will hopefully reveal when he's going to communicate. But at the moment, it seems like he's kind of caught up in a little bit of anxiety and fear right now. So he will break contact. You know, he will kind of break the silence here, but I think you know, he still needs to kind of sort out his mental space first. So Anushka, is G a one-off or is this just toxic? So let's see. 10 of Cups. Okay, so this tells me that like there is potential here, and this could definitely be like a really healthy relationship. I know you've said like, is this just toxic? So I think this is really guiding you to think about the kind of relationship you want. What do you want long term? What is going to make you happy? Do you really feel like this is that 10 of Cups? Is this the person who you want to be with long term? Do you see a future here? You know, the 10 of Cups, like this is a long-term partnership. So I think Spirit's more guiding you, like you probably already know the answer. If you're asking the question, you know, then you likely already know what the answer is, and you just need to think about, you know, the future here and like what you are manifesting in a relationship, what you are looking for in a life partner. And is this person really aligned with that, or is there like another attachment which like makes you kind of hold on to them? But ultimately, you know, just basically how aligned is this with you? So back to Christina on TikTok. Will your boyfriend potentially propose this year, or will it likely happen next year? So let's see. Okay, we have the Emperor. So he's definitely thinking about making the move. The Emperor tells me like this is his call. Like he's gonna decide when he is ready to like propose. He's gonna decide when he's ready to take the shot. But yeah, it really feels with the Emperor like this is something he is planning. It's something that he's preparing for. He likely doesn't want to give too much away. He doesn't want to reveal like when he is going to make that step. but it is something which is in his mind. I know you want a timing here, but I just kind of feel Spirit wants you to be a little bit more patient. Intuitively, I am feeling next year rather than this year, but I think this is something that he's likely kind of getting ready for. So he might already be, you know, looking at rings or sorting out his finances. So yeah, you'll have to let me know. Okay, Brenda, guidance to feel confident about moving. So, 6 of Cups again. So, to feel confident about moving, you need to like think about the memories that you're going to make in this new space. And I think sometimes like any move can be like quite overwhelming. And that 6 of Cups is telling you that you kind of, you need to dream big. You need to be envisioning what this move is going to look like, and just kind of working on like releasing the past a little bit, and kind of accepting that, you know, memories are attached to certain places, but we can also like relive that in any moment, no matter where you are. So to feel confident about moving, I do feel this is kind of clearly telling you you need to again think about what you're manifesting, think about what this move is going to be, and that ultimately, like, once you've made this move, it's going to be everything that you had hoped for, everything that you were wishing for. You've got Strength card here just telling you, like, you have the strength to do this, you know, just be courageous, and you know, kind of take a bit of a leap of faith, because this is going to be great. Okay, I'm going to do last one. So let's have a look. Christy, is Dom interested in you? So let's see. Is Dom interested in you? Let's see. Okay, so we have the 4 of Swords. So right now, it seems like he is kind of in his box a little bit. He's in his space. He's quite withdrawn. This is something that he's likely thinking about. So, you know, you've asked, is he interested in you? This is what he's figuring out. It's something that he has on his mind. But the 4 of Swords tells me that he's got like healing to do, or he may be kind of coming out of a relationship. It might be that he's, yeah, Temperance. He's trying to find his balance again. So there's a definite interest here. Like, he is considering this, and he's trying to figure out how he feels, how he views you. But right now it's like he's not quite ready to come out of his shell. He's not quite ready to explore this. So even though there's an interest, I think you're going to have to see how he rebalances himself and what move he makes. Because I do feel like this kind of needs to be on his terms a little bit. Like once he's figured out if he's ready to explore something again, I feel like he would be the one to take that step and make it happen. But right now it seems like he's like he wants freedom, like he doesn't want to be tied down. So he might just have like a bad experience that he's kind of recovering from. So there could have been, I don't know, like a breakup or just something here which he's still stuck on, and it's just stopping him from really opening his heart and his mind to something new right now. But there is an interest. Okay, thank you for watching today, guys. Hope you enjoyed our little live. I'm going to do these every week. I'm loving doing this, so hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing them as well. So yeah, join me next week, same day, same time, 1:30 p.m. UK time on a Wednesday, and we will see what we need to hear. If anything changes, you know, day or time, I will post it on my Instagram stories, so I'll always let you guys know the day before I'm going live, so you can join. But you can always watch these back at any time as well. So every live will be saved on YouTube for you to watch back, kind of like, you know, at a time which is convenient for you. But thank you for being here, guys, and I've absolutely loved it. So I'll see you guys next week.